So we already have these checks in place. We'll talk a bit more about what these checks can enable us to do in the next lecture. For now, let's just take a look at what is happening and why are they immediately failing. So of course, what is happening here is that we have two App Center applications connected to this GitHub account. So if you navigate over to Settings and you navigate over to Integration and Services, you're going to see App Center. That is great. That is exactly what we wanted. However, if you navigate to Webhooks, you're going to see also a list of applications in here, a couple of them, which are not the ones that have just been created. These are the previous ones. And these two we should delete. So I will delete this connection, this webhook. One is from the iOS application, one is from the Android application, the first ones that we created. And so now the only connection to App Center should be that one within the Integration and Services tab, the one that we executed directly from the marketplace when we added App Center, the one that is now enabling these checks. Another thing that is missing is in App Center that when we configured those new applications, when connecting everything from GitHub, the build that was configured was the master one. And we are currently not pushing anything over here. What we are doing is pushing to dev. So far this build is set. We will eventually change it because it is missing some things, but we have to configure the build for dev as well. So this is still going to be debug, still the newest versions, still a simulator build, build on every push, auto increment the build number, and so on. In fact, I realize now that the batch that I said was the master branch, I should use this one that is going to be using the dev branch. So I will save this, and now dev is also set up. This is for iOS, so I will have to navigate back to my pull request, and over on the file changed, I will have to edit the README file because it turns out I was indeed using the master branch in here. So let me just paste this new one that is now going to be using the dev branch. And I will have to do exactly the same thing for my Android project. Navigate over to build, configure the build for the dev branch, build on every branch, automatically increment with build ID, and enable the build status badge. Copy the markdown, save, and also paste that over here on the README file. So I will commit this as update with dev branch build. Still committing directly to feature 3. Now as soon as I commit these changes, they are of course now going to be part of the pull request. There are now 3 commits, and I can navigate back to the conversation where now something different is happening. Now the check has started. This is finally an ideal continuous integration process. The checks are starting. If we navigate over to checks, they are still happening over here. And if we navigate over to App Center to one of our applications to the build tab, we see that there is now a new build going on. We haven't merged. We are not merging yet. The pull request has just received another commit that has now triggered the continuous integration process. We are now no longer waiting for the merge to happen. We are just checking for new commits in an existing pull request or for new pull requests. So this would also be triggered as soon as we create a pull request. Now this is some serious continuous integration. No need to merge anything. This is now going to enable additional branch protection rules. This is now going to enable us to check if everything is running correctly. In the next lecture, we're going to take a deeper look at these checks and see how they can enable us to protect even further at least our master branch.